Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm really excited to have Aston back as we dive into the second part of our three-part series. This one is all about deploying your Mule. And we have Amit and Pranjal here who are from our product management team. And they're going to dive into all of your burning questions about Mule Runtime 4.6 and upgrading to Java 17, which we know has been a pretty big topic in the community, and you all have lots of questions. With that, I have now opened the Q&A tab. Please ask your questions in the Q&A tab. It can be found at the bottom of your screen in the right-hand corner. This way, it just ensures that we get to all of your questions, time permitting. And with that, without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our presenters. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Sabrina. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yep. Hi, everyone. The topic of today's discussion is Mule Runtime 4.6 release and Java 17 upgrade. This is the forward-looking statement which talks about there are a couple of things that we are going to talk for future releases, and since it's for the future release, there may be some possibility to for the dates to be changed when we actually release them. So what's the first thing to talk about is for Mule 4.6 release? What's basically the motivation for Mule 4.6 release? The number one motivation is, as last year we promised, there's new release cadence. We released Mule 4.5 Edge version. That's the first Edge version last year in October. Now, to maintain the promise of this new release cadence, now we have to release a LTS version. And this gives basically choice to customer whether they can select Edge version as well as LTS version. Edge version, just to recap, Edge version are the versions that have shorter support period, 4 months of standard, 4 months of extended, and it will for the customers they can use some of their apps in that particular version to see what new features we are releasing frequently. So it's not basically per customer basis, it's maybe application basis. So if a customer has 100 application, they want 4 or 5 or some of the experimental applications on Edge versions to see what new features we are releasing with every 4 months, they can do that. And majority of applications, if they don't want to change it frequently, they can keep it in LTS version. Now, the LTS version is as its name suggests, long-term support channel, which will have an extended period of maintenance coverage, 12 months of standard, 12 months of extended, and it will help them customer to have one apps in one of the version for longer period of time. Now, this 4.6 is going to be our first LTS version because the new release cadence we released from 4.5 and above. 4.5 was the first Edge version. Now, 4.6 that we released in Feb this year is going to is our first LTS version. With the LTS version, I think we have already discussed what the new release cadence bring to the table. It also gives auto miner upgrade of Cloud Hub 1 and Cloud Hub 2 applications. So once the LTS version goes into the end of support, it basically upgrades the application to the newer LTS channel, and that's why we call new release cadence has this LTS and S channel. There's one more important motivation for 4.6 is the Java upgrade. Since trust is our number one value, we are aligning our adoption of Java long-term support release models. That's why we wanted to add upgrade of Java version in MuleSoft and help customer to be on top of the Java cadence. A couple of slides, I'll talk about what are the things that we added in Mule 4.6, and then the major part of our discussion is the Java upgrade journey, and then after a couple of slides, I'll hand over to Amit to discuss the Java upgrade. So the first thing is release channel selection. Since 4.6 is our new first LTS channel, from now onwards, customer can see in the runtime manager, the drop down, they can see three types of channels. There's a release channel section which will show Edge, LTS, and none. None channel is basically the version prior to our new release cadence. That's 4.4, and Edge and LTS, it's going to be 4.6 E is Edge, 4.6 is LTS. Now, this is very important for customers. Basically, if we want to select LTS version, make sure we go in release channel and select LTS. If we have not changed it from Edge to LTS, it will be default as an Edge channel, and every 4 months the application will be auto upgraded to the newer one. So if customer wants, do not touch their application for a little bit longer support, longer period, they should definitely go for LTS instead of Edge. And this is basically the part that will show in the UI. Now, once, as with the 4.6, it's not only LTS. 4.6 will be released in both of the channel, Edge and LTS. So there might be some confusion because in Edge also you'll see 4.6E, but the feature set is going to be the same. It's basically providing the same version into the both of the channel, Edge and LTS. The only difference would be the support window. For 4.6 Edge, standard supports end after 4 months, and then 4.7 Edge will be released in June, which when there will be an auto minor upgrade from 4.6 Edge application to 4.7 application for Cloud Hub. However, for the 4.6 LTS, there is a longer period. There's no auto minor upgrade from 4.6 to 4.7 Edge. It will be there, application will be there for 12 months, and then it will directly upgrade it to the next LTS that is coming next year in 4.9, next year Feb, 4.9 LTS. Moving to some little bit of UI enhancement, and in Runtime Manager, we wanted to provide some visibility to customers. We wanted to let them know when the new version is released, when the next round of auto upgrade will happen, and what type of auto update happen for each application. For that, we have created a couple of things. If you can see in the right side, we have added a banner that talks about when what is the latest version in this channel, if it is a new minor, and then it will be auto upgraded. We also added filtering system where customer can see like all of their Edge apps all together, all of their LTS app all together, and then there's one column that update type, which tells like what type of update is available. So for example, first one is minor version upgrade. So there is a minor version available to upgrade. Second one, there's a patch version to upgrade. And third one, it's already at the latest patch version. So there is nothing new for that application to update to. And this we have already yeah. I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah. Do you guys hear me? I think there was some.
Yeah, sorry, it cut out for a sec, but you're all good now, Pranjal.
Oh, okay. So this is basically our release cadence. As we can see, 4.5 is released in October. It was 4 months of standard, 4 months of extended. Now 4.6 is what we are talking about, released in Feb 2024. its first LTS version. It says auto upgrade is like 2 months later we do the auto miner upgrade to previous LTS to new LTS. But since there is no previous LTS version, this is the first LTS version. There's not going to be any auto upgrade happen from the previous to new one. So one thing to note: 4.4 and prior application will not be auto upgraded to 4.6 because 4.6 is our first LTS version. From 4.6 LTS version, the LTS to LTS auto miner upgrade will happen. It will starting from 4.6. It will not before the 4.6. And if you see in this release cadence, it has a Java tag available. 4.4 is Java 8, 4.5 Edge is Java 8, 4.6 is Java 8 and Java 17. So to talk more about what is Java 8 and Java 17 we have and how customer can upgrade, I will hand over to Amit.
Yeah, thanks, Pranjal. We can go to the next slide. Okay, I think we can. I'm looking at the Q&A, and I think people there is a. I think some of the journey has already started, so we'll probably go faster over this section. But the yeah, so I mean we are going through this Java 17 upgrade to align with the industry. That today Java has a long-term support model, LTS model, where they are regularly updating the Java version and dropping support for old versions. So one of and many third-party libraries are also stopping support for Java 8. So that's why we are moving towards Java 17. From a customer action standpoint, as part of Mule 4.6, we released Mule 4.6 is works on both Java 8 and 17, and so customers can begin their upgrading their apps, connectors, gateways, policies, proxies from Java 8 to Java 17. Yeah, this is somewhat time sensitive because many of the, as I was mentioning, many of the third party libraries have and over this year will start dropping support for Java 8. And so that's why over the next 2 years, we need to move to 17. Yeah. And next slide. Okay, we can just open up the whole slide. Yeah. So this is so this is where we are. So we released on February 6th Mule 4.6, which supports Java 8 and 17. At that point, customers could begin upgrading their custom connectors using our connector update playbook. We have the links of those resources in this deck. Partners can also start certifying and publishing their updated connectors via the CAM tool. On March 22nd, we released Studio, version of Studio 7.17, which supports Java 17, which works with Mule 4.6. So at this point, customers now can start upgrading their apps using this new version of Studio using both our connectors as well as partner connectors. Just in terms of connectors, we have around 70 odd connectors that are Java 17 compatible, and the goal is by July to complete all the whole set of connectors. So, but we are progressively releasing them, which means that we have some documentation on our docs page which lists all the compatible connectors. So, as part of your plan, you can review that as well when you upgrade your app. Yeah, so this window is for 2 years up to Q1 of 26. So in February 2026, we will we'll drop support for Java 8. So their apps which are running on Java 8 will no longer be supported. And another important milestone is next year, February, we will launch Mule 4.9, which will support Java 17 only. So 4.6 is this 2-year LTS, which has support for both 8 and 17. So you can begin the journey in 4.6 and then update to 4.9 later. Yeah, so we spoke about apps and connectors. Now in terms of API instances, so we made our policies the Mule gateway provided policies Java 17 compatible. So the customers can begin updating their API instances with these Java 17 compatible policies. Just in terms, just because I was looking at the Q&A, the point is, whenever we annotate or a connector or a policy as Java 17 compatible, it is also Java 8 and 11 compatible. So that means that that policy can work um, with the lower versions as well. The so and then so that's around our policies. And then also customers can start in the same way. We have some documentation which is there in our resources. Customers can begin updating their own custom policies, and if they have custom proxies to ensure compatibility with Java 17. So this, now that Studio is available, all these activities, the policies, proxies, mm, and the apps, uh, the upgrade journey can begin. Yeah, Pranjal, we can go to the next. Yeah, this is just to reinforce the calendar that we just spoke about. So we have 4.6 LTS. We encourage customers to take advantage of this because it supports Java 8 and 17. We encourage that they begin their journey in 2024, and Java 8 will be supported till February 2026. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay, these are some resources, some of them which I was mentioning earlier as well. So we have the connector KB. So this has the list of all the connectors that are Java 17 compatible as of today. We have a connector upgrade playbook. So how can you update your own connectors, whether they are using the Java SDK or XML SDK. Mule gateway policy and proxy migration guides. So this talks about how you can update your own policies as well as use our policy. So all these are there in our documentation, MuleSoft documentation, to help customers manage this migration. Yeah, you can go ahead. Okay, so just in terms of like our overall portfolio, there are a few things that are so when I say Java 17 is available for customers to begin, it's today available for our US and EU commercial environment. So all deployment environments, so Cloud Hub 1 to RTF, hybrid, standalone. And all our tooling like the runtime, the agents, the API manager, runtime manager, um, studio, all of that. Um, but there are certain things that are yet not available. So for example, code builder, it will be available from June. And then on the right side, you see I've tried to put the things that are not available or are coming soon. So for example, PCE, so the new version of PCE, which supports the end-to-end experiences to build Java 17, will come later. US Gov Cloud, it's around the May-June timeframe that we are planning to launch Java 17 compatibility. And then there are a bunch of other experiences. These are not what we call MuleSoft managed experiences. These have no, customers don't use these products necessarily to create Mule apps. So this is more for us, just like we are asking our customers to migrate to Java 17. We also are migrating our own tools to Java 17. Yeah, Pranjal, next. Okay. This section talks about end-to-end experience. So some of the things that I showed in that plan are covered over here. Okay. So in terms of connector tooling, so we have the Mule Java SDK with Java 17 compatibility, REST Connect with Java 17. So a lot of your connectors, for example, are generated of the API spec. So we have now REST Connect with Java 17 compatibility, so you can regenerate those connectors with Java 17. We can go to the next one. Yeah. So this is what I was just saying. There are a subset of connectors that are available now, which are Java 17 compatible anypoint connectors. We have this knowledge base article where we have all the listed connectors which are compatible, and we are looking to yeah, it says end of 2024, but it's earlier. It's around July, August, where we are looking to complete the long tail of anypoint connectors to be uh, Java 17 compatible. Our experience so far has been that there is no major version release for any of so the way we are approaching it is some connectors perhaps there's no additional incremental work on them. We just annotate them as Java 17 compatible. Some connectors there is some work, but there's no major version change on any connector that we've seen so far. Yeah. Go ahead, Pranjal. Yeah, this is the studio part. So this is where we have made some enhancements. One of the areas from a customer experience standpoint. So now that we support two Java versions, uh, give the flexibility for the customer to change the Java version project property at any time. So they can choose a different Java version, like you see in the screen. Yeah, and customers can update their apps using Java 17 compatible connector. So once a customer opens his app on in Studio, always Studio, if there is a new version of a connector, Studio will notify and suggest to use the new version. And so these could be Java 17 compatible versions of that connector. So the case is that someone has chosen Java 17 as the project property. Once we open the app, they will be asked, they will be notified that they can update their connectors with Java 17 compatible connectors. They can choose those connectors um, and then redeploy the app to a Java 17 target. In Runtime Manager or through API or whatever, CI/CD, whatever is the pipeline that the customer has. The Also the screen at the bottom is the Exchange UI. So over there as well, we have you will see your connectors tagged as Java 17 compatible or not. And as I was saying, I think it's a little small, but over here you will see, if you see Java 17 connector is Java 17 compatible, it will be compatible with 8 and 11 also. So they are backward compatible. Yeah. Go ahead, Paranjan. Yeah, this is on the deployment side of things. So we have the UI changes on Cloud Hub RTF, where you can choose a particular Java version while upgrading your app. So if you choose Mule 4.6, you'll have the option to choose Java 8 or 17. You can target Java 17 and deploy your app as well. Similarly, for MMP, it will inherit the choice of the JVM based on the project's property. And lastly, with API and CLI, they can use the Java version parameter to specify a Java version while upgrading the app. So in terms of deployment, all deployment modes, whether API, CLI, MMP, UI, all of them are um, supported. Also, we have some checks in place. There are a few validations even on the Studio side over here as well. So when the runtime will fail any app to deploy to Java 17 that does not contain Java 17 compatible connectors. So we will surface an error message, so that there is no, we try to avoid any kind of mistakes or issues like that. Also on the Studio side, I forgot to mention, but when if you choose a Java 17 compatible project and you search in Exchange, you will only see the Java 17 compatible connectors. So you won't see all of them, so that you can choose the correct connectors. Go ahead, Pranjal. Yeah. So this is gateways, policies, and proxies. So we have already updated our policies to be Java 17 compatible. So these are updated versions of those policies. Uh, For custom policies, so the ones that customers manage, they will need to update the underlying connectors to Java 17 compatible before they annotate the policy with Java 17 compatibility, and then they publish to Exchange. Uh, and in terms of customers can update to Java 17 uh, policies, the ones that the Mule gateway provides for existing API instances. They can also identify the APIs with incompatible policies. So in case a customer has API running with Java 17 and there is no Java 17 compatible version of the policy, then the policy won't be available for selection. So yeah, these are some of the checks that we have that are presented in this slide. We also there's a link for a demo, so we'll check that if that works, for external audience. But yeah, if we have, we can share that as well. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this is on the custom proxies. So on the custom proxy side, the underlying extensions and connectors, like policies, we need to update to Java 17 compatible. On our side, all our included policies like HTTPS, RAMLOS, we have made them Java 17 compatible. And in the same way, while deploying and managing proxies, while one is setting up an API instance, customers can deploy or update a proxy, whether it's a basic endpoint kind of out of box proxy, or a proxy app which is based off a Mule app. But they will be able to, just like in the runtime manager, they will be able to choose the target. So Java 17 target, Edge or LTS channel, and then deploy yeah, conduct the steps. Next slide. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this was it actually from our side. We can now maybe take some questions. I see a lot of questions in the Q&A, so I can answer them over there. So Ashton, how do you suggest we proceed? Should we answer them?
Sure. If you just answer you answer them on camera, read them through, and I'll tick them off as you're going through.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Yeah.
So
that'd
let
be
me
great.
just
And read out the question as well when
Yeah,
you're answering it, obviously.
for sure. Yeah. So I'll just go up. Okay. Yeah.
I can read them as well.
No, I'll just, yeah, I'm just
You're just thinking about it, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm taking this question. Mule SDK custom connector still code compilation is going to be using JDK 8 as parent POM uses 8. Only thing, we have to run the MTF test against 8, 7 and annotate. Yes, that's right. So compilation is always target 8. No change over there. It's more the runtime environment that is changing in 4.6. Okay. Someone is requesting presenter mode. Okay, maybe just go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to come on again. So we're having this question a lot. Everyone can only chat or ask questions. If our presenters need more information about your question, then I will bring you on to speak about your question. So please only use the chat for general comments and keep the Q&A tab clear of general questions and comments unless it's a very specific product question. Since we only have 30 minutes left, we want to make sure we get through as many technical questions as possible. So please, if they feel like they need more information about your question, I will bring you on to speak. Please don't ask for presenter mode. We won't grant it. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's start running through them. Aston, do you want, are you good running through them?
Yeah. Okay. So Pranjal, the next one is for you. So the application overview page, it's from David, if you want to answer that one.
Yes, it's basically David is asking in our application list view, shouldn't it be basically showing the Java version, which Java version the application is deployed to, which will give an customer an idea. I believe when uh, the update type column is only to talk about what type of update is available. It is patch or minor upgrade, or is if the application is already available in the latest one. But to help them understand the Java version, I know there is the Java image is all Java version is also attached with the entire schema of the Java of the version. So when in the version column, they can see, I believe, if it is deployed to Java 8 4.6.e dash Java 8 AMI or 4.6 e dash Java 17 AMI. So this was the concept where customer can see within the list. They would be able to see that. But yeah, it's not only this one. There would be a lot of enhancement regarding the Java upgrade that still we are working on. We'll keep on upgrading and improving the experience through UI to help customer understand what their application is deployed to which patch version, what Java version, so that they can process on their upgrade easily.
Yeah. The next is from Abhijit. So for custom connector, the document still says use JDK 8. Yeah. So yeah, so custom connector. So today I will also check this with our connectivity team. They are not on this one, but the so if we are using the Java SDK, to build your connector using our extension model, you will yet compile everything on Java 8. It will not be you are not compiling on 17. But I will check that element of the documentation to make sure that it's clear if there's some confusion, but so that we will reflect what I just said. The next one is why the runtime release channel defaults to Edge instead of LTS. Customer to default to LTS unless they consciously need. Yeah, I think this is a good point, and I think we also debated it a little bit on whether we should have um, Edge or LTS. We are seeing we are still analyzing the data from 4.6, from 4.5 to see if we need to make that toggle, right, to default to LTS. But yeah, we started with Edge so that it's consistent because, Edge is 3 times a year. So, in February, if we show Edge first, if we show LTS first, then in June, when we have the next Edge release, we'll have to show Edge first, so it'll be a little bit like um, not consistent. So we kept it consistent at Edge, but yeah, we'll review the data. Will there be 3 times a release of PCE to support? No, so PCE there will just be one release for PCE 4.0, which will support the end-to-end experiences for Java 17. So PCE is also tied to runtime version, so it will support 4.6 progressively. When we have 4.9, it will support 4.9. So this release cadence is only for the runtime. Okay, the next one. How can I see that a policy is? Yeah, so in API manager, you will be so if Pranjal, can you go back a couple of slides? Manage no to API manage. So no, go ahead. Sorry. Deployment manage. Yeah. So over here, over here you will be able to see can identify the APIs which are with Java 17 incompatible policies. So this screen that you see on the right bottom in API manager, you will have all the APIs and wherever the policies are incompatible. You can also see the list of Java 17 compatible policies as well. Okay. Mm, all current connectors be yes, so all our anypoint connectors, so the way it's working is we have identified the top used connectors, and like we are just going through that list and upgrading them to Java 17. So there's this like all the top connectors, top like 70 or maybe even higher now, connectors are upgraded. But so we have this long tail now of connectors which we need to complete. So we will be, yeah, upgrading all the connectors. As the connectors modules are being updated for Java, will the Java 8 version no longer be getting? No, so we will, the fixes will be for as long as we support 4.6 patches, and monthly patching will be for both images. So as Pranjal was saying, we have in 4.6 there will be two images that are released with the annotation of Java 8 and 17. Both those images will receive all patching, bug fix, security patching, OS patching, all the, no change in that process. Is a Java 17 upgrade planned for JSON logger? Okay, I can check this one. Yeah, I'll just take note of this. We can check this. We actually we have the. I'll check this, but we have the list of in the compatible connectors. If yeah, I'll check this. I'm not sure about this one. I'll check with the connectivity team. Um, we'll get back to you on this one. I have seen no documentation of a Java SDK. Okay. Let me check this one as well. So in terms for this Java 17 upgrade, when we say there's no documentation for a higher SDK, so I'm not. Let me just share on my screen um, the documentation page, Java documentation page. I'll just.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Okay, yeah. So this is the page that we have, right, which is dedicated for all the Java 17 topics. And we have over here, for example, how to deploy your applications, performance conditions, connectors and modules, studio. So there are dedicated pages for that, for custom connectors. And then we have the SDK, right? REST SDK, REST Connect, and we have documentation around that. So and then the Mule SDK as well. So there is no and if we go there, so this is with the custom Mule SDK, and let me just check about. Just give me a second. I know there is for Java SDK as well. So. Yeah, oh yeah, it's here. So with either with Java SDK or Mule SDK to Java 17, and we have this documentation here on how it can be done. So I think that this will help you go through that process. Okay. In the app overview, and I can see runtime version. Pranjal, you want to take this one, or I can also take it. It's so in the app overview in runtime manager, we see the runtime version, but we don't see the Java version. I think we show the Java version in the app details page, right? Um, not in the dashboard. Um, yeah, we can check this if it's
Yeah.
yeah, on possibility for this. Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. Yeah, standard support and extended support. And I can start, and Pranjal, feel free to add further. So on standard support, we provide so we firstly, customers can deploy new applications in standard support. They receive all patches, monthly patching, all of that, um, for all bug fixes as well. In extended support, at least on our cloud environments, Cloud Hub 1 and 2, customers cannot deploy new applications. They can redeploy existing applications, but they cannot deploy new applications. They also receive patching, but if you see our back support policy, the patching is at like we provide patching for high severity issues, but not for lower severity issues. So that's, but yeah, in terms of patching, I would say it's pretty similar. We make sure that we patch, if there are security issues or other kind of high severity issues. But the main difference is in the ability to deploy new applications, which is not there in extended support. Okay, this is from David. Um, I have not seen there a section how to tackle the mixed version of runtime with the same custom policy. How to upgrade? My concern is if I upgrade, would it also? I'm just reading this again. So I have not seen there is a section on how to tackle the mixed versions of runtime with the same custom policy. It only explains how to upgrade it. My concern is that if I upgrade it, would it run on API which is not upgraded? Yeah. So if you upgrade your policy, so if you go through the documentation, as I was saying, it is in a backward compatible way, so that you can run your upgraded policy even on an so say you have a policy which is Java 17 compatible, and you have an API which is Java 8. This policy will also work with the Java 8 API. But yeah, the main issue comes in the other way around, and that's what we were showing in the UI as well, that if there are APIs which are not compatible, like if there are policies that are not compatible, so you have APIs which are Java 17 but the policy is yet Java 8, then that will be flagged. So I think those issues are where you need to identify your policies and upgrade them. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think this one is a explanation of the question above, but yeah, we just answered it. So from David. Um, yeah, the options are also supported via Maven and API calls. So CLI, API, Maven, UI. So all four, all options.
All deployment methods. Yeah.
Yeah. Is today's session covered? Custom partner connector upgrade process. So yeah, for our partners, also we have similarly like what we see on the screen, documentation. We also have the same kind of resources. For the partners, I know there is a process where they go through the partners also have a little bit um, Pranjal, can you just let me share my screen? Okay, since I'm sharing with me. Um, Pranjal, I think I have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
older.
This is different slide. Yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I think.
This one.
Yeah. If you can go to the next. Yeah. One behind. Yeah.
Oh, one behind. This one.
Correct. So for partners, so in addition to what we just explained and our documentation, there is the certification process that exists for partners. So our CAM tool, the partner certification tool. So partners need to submit their connectors or kind of recertify those connectors once they build them. Also, I know some of our partners use our REST SDK, so they will also be needed to be updated using the playbook. Yeah. Can go to the next question. Yeah, there are a few questions on the recording of the session, but I think Sabrina and Ashton can clarify that.
Yeah, just to reiterate, this recording will be made available via the Muleys YouTube channel, and I'm also going to be releasing a blog either this week or next week on this topic, which will be shared across the socials, which will have a link to this recording as well as all the other supplementary assets that Amit briefly showed up. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. We will check on this, Rahul, on your question on the HTTP cache. So in February, we released all policies to be Java 7. All anypoint policies that we have are Java 17 compatible. So none of them are left. But if you are getting an error, maybe you can, raise a case, and then the support team can have a look. Yeah. So UI, yes, for sure. UI is not, our data also shows that UI is not the most targeted, especially on production. So that's why we have provided support for all deployment models. MMP is most used, and then of course our APIs and CLI. Yeah. So this is answered. Okay. Yeah, Bill, I think that may be kind of specific case. So you can reach out to those who vend that library. So if they have not yet upgraded, then
I see a couple of questions, Amit,
Yeah.
regarding the JSON logger connector, and then when we'll have the Java 17 compatibility. So we can take it back and then.
Yeah, that's the one. Actually, we can have a look right away. But if it's not clear, we can take that back. But just on the question, so compilation of the connector yet is Java 8, not so the target is yet Java 8 in Mule 4.6. Only in 4.9 compilation will be 17. But let me maybe we can right away check on JSON logger. If just give me a second.
Yeah, and I see one question. Somebody asked when we will be completely on Java 17. So 4.9 release after the next LTS after 4.6. 4.9 is planned to be released next year in Feb. from that version, Mule runtime will only support Java 17. It will stop supporting Java 8. And that is why we recommend all customers to take their applications, use 4.6 LTS version, and upgrade their Java 8 app to Java 17. So that from 4.9 and above, they can completely use their application in Java 17.
Yeah. Pranjal, can you go through the next questions if you and I'll try to look at the logger thing. Just
Yep. So logger is what will get more answer. Yeah, there were some questions regarding custom connector and what's their upgrade journey. So we are working on the MuleSoft provided connectors and have an upgraded uh, version of those connected for compatible with Java 17, so that customer can take their application and upgrade their connectors directly to Java 17. But the custom connectors are basically custom codes in a connector that the customer writes. So customer has to make sure that the code that is written in the custom connector is Java 17 compatible before upgrading.
Yeah, and that we have the playbook in the same. So Pranjal, if you go to the resources section.
Or maybe it's yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so you have this connector upgrade playbook. It's on our documentation, and this explains how you can upgrade the connector. So it's actually the page I was showing for the last question, I think, where we had the Mule SDK and the um, XML SDK and the steps on how one can upgrade one's extension model and all of that to upgrade one's connector. So yeah, you can manage custom connectors in that way.
I think for the YouTube upload as well, for this recording, we'll link these resources just to make sure it's easy for everyone to access.
Yeah. Yeah, there's connector upgrade playbook link someone's asked, but we'll share all these links and everything. So okay, so far what are the major issues Mule has heard changing from Java 8 to 11 to 17? Looking for odd examples. So there was like when we started out, there were a few issues. There were a few issues that were reported because of like bad error message on our side. So when customers were trying to upgrade, they were not getting the right error message. So that's been resolved since. But besides that, we didn't see any like common pattern or major issues so far. About Mule runtime performance characteristics, right? So there's a question around that. We have that covered in our documentation as well. But in general, I mean, we tested on different sizing of vcores and all of that, and we have made some recommendations, specifically for RTF, on-prem environment. So the cloud environments we are managing, so we've optimized. But for RTF, we have made some recommendations. I would say in general, if you have like apps, that are already at the edge of, using resources, you should do some performance testing of those, or apps that are, batch processing, which involve batch processing. These are I would say, two categories of apps where you may need to, subset of your apps that you may need to testing. But you have more information on um, performance, Java 17 performance in our documentation as well.
And to answer one question I see, can we upgrade our Mule application to Java 17 with Mule Runtime 4.4? So the answer is no. Java 17 upgrade and Java 17 support is only available from Mule 4.6 and later version. So that is why we are recommending customers to move to 4.6 and then upgrade to Java 17. And there's one more question about MMP, that is MMP going to support the additional new tag, Java version tags? So yes, it is supporting. We just need to look into the documentation from which version it's supporting.
Yeah. So the latest, once again, in our Java Hub page, you will find the link to the latest version of MMP, where you can use that to target Java 17. REST SDK. Yeah, this is yet in beta. I am not aware of the plans for direction on this, or I can check with our integration. Yeah, I can check this. I'm not sure are we going to sunset it or not. I know today it's yet in beta, so it continues to be in the same. Yeah, it's. Okay.
And then this MMP one we answered. After that, we answered that. Yeah, the issue, I think Ashad wanted to understand about the issue. I think this issue is mainly around the MMP side, and MMP team is looking into it. They'll be able to provide more details.
Okay.
Okay, so that actually brings us to time. Thank you all so much. This was very informative session. I know there were a ton of questions. I don't want to speak for our presenters, but I'm guessing we will be doing another session as well, just to ensure that you all get your questions answered. If you did not get your questions answered, you can email me at shockett@salesforce.com. I will put it in the chat, and I will ensure that we get these questions over to our wonderful presenters as well. That's my email in the chat. Please feel free to ping me and I will get you in contact. I just want to say a huge thank you to Pranjal and Amit. Thank you so much for the session. Thank you, Aston, for coordinating. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up, and we will see you all at our next session. We will have the third part of this series at the end of May, and the registration link will be coming to you at the end of this month. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Thank you, Amit.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Pranjal. Great session.
Thank you.